the same. It's very dry. And later on, quite soon, we will see trees in both sides of the roads with light green leaves. Those trees are invaders. This is a white acacia from the family of white robinia from the family of acacia, and naturalists are calling those trees dragons with 9 heads, because if you will cut down one, few of them will grow instead of that one. And those plants are taking more and more territory. They are pushing away local trees, and scientists each year and here I can see more and more of them. And biologists say they cannot find a way how to stop their population of those invaders. So they are now everywhere. Okay, so now we are going to stop for the entrance in Neringa. Actually, Neringa town is quite a strange town. It's complicated to understand even for Lithuanians. But I will try to explain it easiest way which is possible. Actually, there are 5 villages located in different places. All of them, they have their own names, but all together they are joined in Neringa town for easy to administrate this territory. So you can see the sign of Neringa. Welcome to Neringa. Because the population in all of those 5 towns is about 2,500 people. So that's why it's easy if they are, joined in one town. It's easier to administrate. And this is the longest town in Lithuania. It's about 40 kilometers. The population only about 2,500. So the first village of Neringa town you can see on the left-hand side, and this is the smallest one. It's just one family lives here, 4 people in this village. Name is Alexmenia. Beginning of 20th century, a little bit up also one was survived, you can see. This red brick house, it was school, now it's a local museum. This white also was a school, I think 2 years ago, but it's closed because last year it was only 14 children in this school. Yeah, so holiday makers from Berlin, from Königsberg, they were coming by boats and spending their holiday here. It was one of the luxury resorts here. On the right hand side you can see buildings, fishermen houses now. They are still catching fish. They have special recipes of smoking it, and they can buy fresh smoked fish in houses where you will see picture of the fish, and it will be written žuvis, means you can buy it. We like smoked fish like a beer snack with a beer. On the left hand side there are sculptures from stone, water and land. They are made by Lithuanian, Russian and Swedish artists. So now on the left you can see sculptures sheep. I hope you can recognize that this is sheep. It's also interesting place. In this time we are going to stop for our lunch here on the way back. But our time is quite limited, so today we will not be able to see Hill of Witches. You can see on the left which points where to go. Yeah, this is a hill, about 40 meters hill with a natural forest, which one is decorated by wooden carvings, according to Lithuanian fairy tales, legends and mythology. Okay, so later on, on the way back, we will stop where the bus parking is, and this is our restaurant where we are going to have lunch today. So, population in Jotland is about 400 people living here. It's a small town, but it's quite long. It's still Jotland there. On the right-hand side, you will see a church, very typical church for this region. It was built in 1885. And it was like a Lutheran church, but now it's used like Lutherans and Catholics are sharing this church. It's because not so many Lutherans left, mostly Catholics live. Later on I will tell how did it happen, because short stop for 10-15 minutes only. I would like to start about cormorants. First time cormorants appeared here in 19th century. But quite soon they've been killed by fishermen because they didn't like them, they ate their fish. And then permanence appeared in 1989. And first of all, workers of the national park were very happy, with a few couples, very
this is acid because they eat fish. Yeah, and they are dropping with the acid. And as you can see, one tree, and all acid
we will see again. Actually, there is one way for tourists where tourists can go. The road is paved. It costs €2 per person. It's possible to go up and go down, but only one way. In autumn, workers of the national park are inviting volunteers to pick up small bushes, small trees. Because plants also are fighting for surviving, and they are taking sand, and little by little, if they wouldn't stop that, we wouldn't have sand dunes. As I already mentioned, that now we have to protect sand dunes. It's the opposite situation. So now again, on the left-hand side, you will be able to see. So time by time, you can take a look. Now I would like to each population. They have special methodology how to count, but mainly wild animals we can see in evening when it gets dark. 3 meters, but it can be 52.5 or 53.5 because it's still changing. Okay, very nice, and quite many objects we can see in this one place. So many interesting things we are going to see. Nida is the biggest town. It's a population of about 2,000 people living here. So in Nida they have a local municipality, police, ambulance, high school, kindergarten, shops. So this is like a normal small town. Okay, so but don't worry, you don't need to climb up all those 53 meters. The biggest part the bus will take us up. Yeah, it's a possibility to go by bus. But if you would like to come later on your own, you can go explore and climb, but this time for saving time, we will go by bus. Soon on the right-hand side, you will see quite interesting house, like from fairy tales. One famous artist, Eduardas Jonušas, used to live here. Now it's his museum. He died not so long time, so exactly now on the right-hand side is his museum. And this is on the right-hand side, Nida Art Colony. It's called. It's built for artists, for painters, architects, students. They can stay here and to do their projects here. This is continuing the Nida Art Colony when German painters were coming here already from the second half of 19th century and staying in Nida. On the right hand side is a camping, a place for campers, and the only one place where people can camp.
Okay, so now this place down is called Valley of Death. Because in 1871 it was war between Prussia and France, and the French soldiers were prisoners being kept here in this valley. At that time this place looked a bit different. It was only the sand, no grass, no bushes, nothing. And when French soldiers were located here, they didn't understand where they are. They said it looks like Sahara, but it's too cold to be Sahara. So where we are located. And they lived in not very good conditions in barracks, and they've been planting lots of trees here. They used like workers, and quite many of them died, and they've been buried here in the same spot called this place Valley of the Death. And this monument also from last year, it's appeared. Yeah, you can see, in memory of French war prisoners who contributed to the development of the landscape of the Curonian Spit. So nobody from France here? No.
There are some French.
There are some?
Yes.
Okay, who is from France? Come to me.
It's your place.
It's your place. Yeah, so this is for monument for French soldiers. You can read in French even. They were French soldiers who were prisoners here after French-Prussian war. And they planted quite many trees here, and some of them died and be buried here in this place. That's why it's called Valley of Death. And later we will see Jean-Paul Sartre. Yeah, so we're on the way. We can go, and then later, if you will be patient, I will show where is Russia. Yeah? Okay, you can see also a sculpture. This is sculpture of French writer Jean-Paul Sartre. Yeah, Jean-Paul Sartre. Actually, how did he appear here? Jean-Paul Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir, they went to visit to the Soviet Union in 1965. And also they came here, and they've been told that somewhere here French soldiers been buried.
Ah, that's why.
Yeah, that's why they came here. And it was October, very windy, and as you can see, Jean-Paul Sartre came in front of the wind. Yeah, and he was existentialist, so it was very typical his movement in front of the wind. And one Lithuanian photographer took a picture of him. This picture you will see there, and it was so typical. It was so typical, yeah, that the sculpture from this picture is in National Library in Paris, even, yeah. And this appeared only last year. And I asked why not Simone de Beauvoir? She was also famous. Only Jean-Paul Sartre. And they said because he said a very important sentence when he was here. When he was standing here, he said, I have a feeling that I'm standing in front of the paradise. Yeah. And because of that sentence, he deserves to have a sculpture here. Okay, so now we are in a very special place, which I mentioned in the bus. From here we can see two waters and two countries. Yeah? This is Curonian Lagoon, and this is the Baltic Sea. Yeah, two waters. And now we are in Lithuania. And quite often, you don't be surprised if you will see a message, you are welcome to Russia, in your mobile, because it's only 4 kilometers, so sometimes our mobiles are catching signals, but they don't respond because it's very expensive. And if someone is going to call, and don't call to anyone, because you will be like calling from Russia, yeah? So, from the side of Curonian Lagoon, you can see like a peninsula, like a horn, yeah? In the middle of this horn goes border between Lithuania and Russian Federation. From the side of the Baltic Sea, you can see like a small tower. Can you see?
Yeah.
This is exactly border office. If you want to go to Kaliningrad, this is for checking documents, for visas, and actually this is very strict office because it's border not only between Lithuania and Russia, but between European Union and Russia, and so on and so forth. So we can make a line from this small tower till the middle of the fort, and it would be border between Lithuania and Russian Federation. This white dune is still in Lithuania. These dunes you can see further, they are in Russia. So as we are watching to Russia from here, Russians are watching from those dunes to Lithuania. Yes, but as you can see, there is no like wall or fancy, because before the border, this is also a strict reserve of the nature, where people cannot walk. There is exception in autumn when the locals can go to pick mushrooms, but those who are locals. Yeah, but they have to be very attentive. Wouldn't notice signs. They can appear on Russian side, and then they can be arrested for illegal crossing if they don't have documents. Yeah. This dune here, name is Gliders Dune, because when this region belonged to Lithuania about 1930s, it was full of gliders, and they had very good results, even world records in gliding. This is quite windy here, and it's nice to glide. Yeah, so on the mainland also, this dune is on the way of migration of the birds. In spring, in autumn, birds are migrating here, and on the other side, on the mainland, we have ornithological station, where are big nets and birds are flying straight, and they are putting rings and checking how far away those birds can fly. And for example, stork got ringed here, and they found the same stork in South Africa. Oh, yeah, from here you can see how. Yeah, and actually this place is astronomically perfect place. If we would sit somewhere on the bench here from early morning to late evening, we would see a sunrise and sunset just being in one place, because the sun is rising from the lagoon, making a circle and coming down into the Baltic Sea through the all day. That's why it was decided to build a sundial here. This one is a sundial. We can go, I'm going to tell about the sundial. This sundial was built in 1995, but as you can see, it's from two different colors, because in 1999 we had a very strong hurricane, Anatoly, and this hurricane, we never got so strong, never after. It was some cars were flying and roofs from the houses were taken off, and it was so strong that it destroyed the top part of Stella, and you can see the ruins of the first one, yeah, of this granite. Actually, this granite was taken from Karelia, the Russian Federation. But then there were very long discussions what to do with the stela, to rebuild or not to rebuild. About 10 years they've been discussing, and finally it was decided to rebuild, but this company bankrupted, and that's why they couldn't get the same material, and this top part is granite from China. Yeah, this is 50% made in China, our stela, yeah. And those signs, which you can see here and on stela, they are taken from a Lithuanian village. They found calendar from 17th century. How in 17th century people in Lithuanian villages were measuring different periods of time. It was like a calendar of 17th century. So now you can take a look at this picture, and you will see how this sundial looked after the hurricane. Yeah, it was like 50% cut it down. And now we can go to check what is the local time here, and later I will take you a little bit up to the sand. You can walk to the sand, and we will see at Nida. It won't be the same time like in our clocks, because the nature is not changing clocks, yeah, one thing, and the other thing, this is the most western part of Lithuania, so it shows a natural time of this place, exactly of this place. When the local time is 12 o'clock noon, the shadow of Stella is always on this black line at 12 o'clock. Doesn't matter is it winter or spring or autumn, it's always on the black line. And the other time is, we will see what the months. If we can see, the shadow is here, so it's quite early. Our clocks are showing 11. I think it's much earlier here. So there are names of months in Lithuanian language, and they have, each of them, they have runa, like a special sign. I even can translate. It's quite interesting, because months in Lithuanian language are very different, and they are all connected with the nature. Like January is dry month. February, summer is coming. Very optimistic. Yeah? March is the name of blackbird, like similar like crow. And 4 special dates, like there are also those signs around. 4 special dates. It's spring equinox, 21st of March. Summer solstice, winter solstice, and autumn equinox. So those also there are special dates for them. April is pigeon. May is cuckoo bird because cuckoo starts to say cuckoo in May. June it's a birch tree. July linden tree. Linden tree starts blossoming. August is time of harvesting of rye. September is time of sowing of rye. Rye was very important because you were making bread. Yeah. October has a very ancient name where ladies were preparing linen. And small pieces of linen were flying away. It has name of small piece from linen. November, leaves are falling down, and December, everything is frozen. And clear. There's a facing check. Okay, so now I just stopped at the one house. This is Fishman House Museum. There are 2 similar streets, the oldest part of Nida, and I think you noticed already, yeah, this is about the colors. That the main colors here are dark brown or dark red, blue and white. And German painters who stayed here from Nidan Art Colony, they decided that those colors have symbols. That the brown symbolizes the earth, lands, blue, water, and white, clouds in the sky. I think it was nice discovery, it could be. And yes, you can see that quite often people painted blue around the windows. Quite many houses are with the blue. It was also quite pragmatic decision. People lived next to the water with lots of bugs and insects. And for some reason they believed that bugs don't like blue color. They would think this is water. And they wouldn't go inside into the rooms if they would paint blue. Maybe it worked because quite many houses did the same. Also, I would like to pay your attention with this white decoration at the roof. Yeah, it was called lackey. The first meaning, they were just sticks, and people believe that bad souls are flying around. If they will have it to sit down and relax, then they wouldn't go inside and wouldn't do something bad for people. After relaxing, they will fly away. But later, they started to decorate. You can see they have decorated some symbols in each house. Yeah, each house had different. The people nowadays we don't know the meaning of those symbols. We can only guess. But before, locals, like we know signs of roads. Yeah, for everyone is clear. The same was for locals. Those symbols. And when they were passing house, they were looking and they could understand some main facts about this family. Maybe they have more daughters or more boys. What is their occupation? For example, I can tell like a joke. Like one not married boy is passing, and this is expressed that they have 2 daughters. Okay, he would like to go inside with a glass of water and to look around. Maybe one daughter could be his wife. Yeah, so this is just example. Actually, people use symbols in all fields of life. Later I will tell about the waterways. You can see the decorations, but we will go around and it will be a picture with explanation. So I will tell about very, very special waterways for this region. And here you can see a type of roof. It's thatched roof or red roof. Yeah, those types of roof colors. And inside those houses can be luxury, modern, but it's not allowed to change outside because this is also heritage of UNESCO. And if they are quite old, end of 19th century, beginning of 20th century, and sometimes need to be repaired. And this owner of this house has to go to local municipality to discuss what materials he can choose. But later, he will be partly paid by government for his repairing, because he cannot choose everything he wants. And what do you think? How much you should pay for that house? how much? Yeah, if you want to buy it. I should only will tell that this real estate here is the most expensive in Lithuania, and especially here. Okay, for not wasting time, I will tell. It's about 1 million euros. Okay. And even if you want to buy, it's so complicated. Even if you want 1 million, it's not so easy to find who wants to sell for you. It will be very complicated. And actually, what is interesting, that people who came here, they got for free. Those houses were empty. They got for free those houses, but now they are millionaires. This is part of Nida.